We'll get ready for the national anthem here. If you're able to, would you please rise for singing of O Canada?
O Canada, our home and native land.
True patriot love in all of us command. Quatre bras et porte l'épée, il sait porter la croix.
From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Drivers, start your engines.
After a busy Friday night and a busy Saturday afternoon, we're back here once again here on Vidane TV, here with the Canadian Karting Series, the Karters iRacers League, sponsored by Canadian Karting News. Great to be here on a Sunday afternoon. Pretty cool stuff here going on. As we're here, we've got the Legends cars at Summit Point Raceway. Got about a 20-car field here. And Wes, we got some heat races lined up. We got just wrapping up qualifying. We got a 7-minute qualifying session here. We're going to be running 2 10-minute heat races to essentially line up where these guys are going to start in the feature. Right after that, we're going to be moving right into, easy enough for me to say, moving right into a 20-minute feature. So definitely some action-packed here this afternoon. First race of 3 scheduled for today.
Paul, it's good to be back here. I'm going to need a little bit of energy here from you, Paul. I know it's the first thing in the morning. We're jumping on here. We're going to call some racing here straight at noon. And I'm going to need you to get a little bit of a 5-hour energy into you, man. We got legends on road courses, and we saw this group of guys put on one hell of a battle for us yesterday morning, and here we are back again at a unique racetrack with a unique car on this racetrack. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, most definitely. We had a lot of action go on yesterday. The big New Smyrna show. Did the pre-show there at 2:30 as well, and we also did some racing last night for the Vidane Racing League. On top of calling these guys at noontime yesterday, so very, very cool. You see a little bit of an issue there on qualifying for the 14 car. Looks like he gathers it back up, and no harm, no foul. Just kind of a lazy self spin. He's gonna pull it into the pits and try again. But very cool to have these guys out here. Beautiful Summit Point Raceway, doing a little bit of left-hand turn, right-hand turn, and in the Legends car. So it's a track that you and I aren't really necessarily familiar with, as we both seem to run super speedways quite often. And man, oh man, I haven't been in a Legends car in iRacing in probably going on 10, 12 years. So going to be very, very cool to see these things kind of buzz around the track, and it's almost like a rabid. Like a rabid pack of bees. I don't think bees are called packs, but swarm. That's the word I'm looking for. Rabid swarm of bees heading all the way around this racetrack, as it looks like we're going to get lined up here for heat number 1.
Paul, when have you ever heard a pack of bees in your life? Not a swarm, a pack. What bars are you going to?
Well, I mean, here in Connecticut, we get a lot of weird and dark dive bars and things like that. So you get a little bit of everything.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're starting to line up here for our first heat race of the event of the day, and starting pole, at least this is scheduled starting positions, will be the 73 of Kenneth O'Keefe, and these guys start from a standing start, which means they don't roll up onto the grid. They stay stationary, the green flag drops, and they hit the loud pedal. So starting second will be Patrick Woods-Toth. We saw him put on a show yesterday as his cannabis-sponsored Legends ride, that number 20. Curtis Fox in the 16 Hot Wheels car. That looks really, really cool. I actually really like that. Zachary Shearer will be starting fourth in the 22, or at least scheduled to. He's not on the grid yet. Starting fifth will be Logan Paca. We're going to work on that one. I think the Z is silent. Logan Paca in the 215. Starting sixth will be Rafael Forcier in the 26. Starting seventh, the 10 of Enrico Minotti. Starting seventh. Starting eighth will be Zachary Vanier in the 23. Starting ninth is Corey McLeod in the 15. Starting 10th will be Callum Baxter in the 45, and that will round out your top 10. And that is the My Little Pony number 45. Interesting paint schemes here.
Yeah, these guys looks like spent a lot of time on their paint schemes. Very, very cool to see here. Like you said, at this point, you don't really get the pace lap. You have to sit there, white knuckles on the steering wheel, and wait for that flagman to throw that green flag. And at that point, you're able to hit that loud pedal, like you said, and really get a rip here. You can hear them in the background. They're really starting to rev the motors to try and get all they can here on the start.
And the green flag is out. Kenneth O'Keefe hits that loud pedal, and we are off down this long front stretch here, ladies and gentlemen, at Summit Point Raceway. Really long front stretch, a lot of speed going into this first hard right-hand corner as Kenneth O'Keefe leads the field going down into one.
Top three single file, a little bit of contact there for fourth place, side by side, banging doors and banging into the back bumper there. Taking a look here at the 22 machine, focusing in on him. Just kind of riding in the tire tracks there. Patrick Wood's machine, the number 20 cannabis machine.
215, Paul. 215 in the 26. Make contact, sending the 26 backwards, and it's Wonder Bread machine, and he gets it in the rear for My Little Pony in the 45. This is going to be a fun one to call. There's actually two Wonder Bread cars out there, the 23 of Zach Vanier and then the 26 of Rafael Forcier. These guys have a great sense of humor, you can tell, and I think it's going to be a fun one. But behind them, that 26, Forcier, trying to make up some spots after getting bumped out of the way. There's about 7 cars here just within a couple tenths of My Little Pony. It's turned around and it's able to save it. Oh, the 45 of My Little Pony of Callum Baxter, and collects the 21. Not what you want to see in a heat race, but man, hopefully they can get it back together. And I don't know exactly what you do with My Little Ponies. You put them back together again, like Humpty Dumpty. I'm not exactly sure, but
tough break for My Little Pony. It's a crying shame that he I don't even know how you would call that one. But I digress. We're back up here with Kenneth O'Keefe leading these guys. He's got a good, healthy 1 second lead over Patrick Woods Toth and the number 20 machine. Zachary Shearer is still there, though. He's about 2.5 seconds back. Taking a look on your screen, you're able to see the top 5 cars still single file. Got about 2.5 laps in the books here. But the lap count doesn't really matter too much. We're going by the clock. And we did clear that up with League Administrator Kenneth O'Keefe this morning before we came on air. These guys are racing the clock. They aren't necessarily racing the lap times. So with these heat races, essentially what that means with the iRacing simulator is everybody's going to be out on the track for 10 minutes. And once that 10-minute clock expires, you get 2 more laps on the board. And same deal for the feature. That's going to be a 20-lap feature, or a 20-minute feature, rather. And same deal. Once that 20-minute clock expires...
My Little Pony just got out of its stall, no pun intended, and just looped it, running all by himself. So that 45 Callum Baxter, he has decided to go back into his stall. He put Pony back in the stall, and please continue on this race format, Paul. Oh, and we got another one around here.
Yeah, looks like the 19 car was around. Oh, not the 19. Cars all over the place here. A lot of John Deere country, I'm noticing. A lot of green grass all the way around this racetrack. So it's one of those things.
Curtis Fox in the 16 there, Paul. Curtis Fox in the 16, the Hot Wheels machine.
Oh, yeah, taking a look at that hot rod right now. He's getting past, looks like, excuse me, by the 27 car. Gets on around him cleanly. And just kind of jumps right back into his tire tracks.
I think that's Opkaran Sidhu.
Oh, you're right. That's the 21 car that got around him.
That was the 21. And we like to have a little bit of fun during these heat races. We understand this isn't the feature. These guys are out there mainly having a lot of fun in these heat races, getting used to the way these setups are going to handle if they weren't able to in practice, see how it's going to handle under actual race conditions. They got 15 minutes to come out here and lay it down and pay out Patrick Woods Toth in the cannabis ride, that number 20. He's riding up there in second. We saw him do a really good job yesterday as well. So Seen some familiar faces running around the top. Kenneth O'Keefe as well in yesterday's race was a top performer too, as he's still leading the field here, and as we have less than 6 minutes remaining in this race.
Riding on board right now with Patrick Woods in that 20 machine, just kind of taking you for a ride around a lap here at the Summit Point Raceway. And really cool to kind of just listen to these things, because they run a high RPM, and they just kind of howl as they head across the backstretch there, the front stretch rather.
I almost feel like these cars aren't made to reach the speeds that they're reaching around this road course, so those engines are turning those high RPMs, and they're pretty loud. And but it's fun to hear. And for those that are watching on YouTube, thank you so much for checking us out. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, as we are calling action about 5 days a week. Some days, like today, a triple header, as well as we host races for well-known tracks such as Stafford Motor Speedway and New Smyrna Speedway. So be sure to hit that subscribe button. For those watching on Twitch, please do the same. We are here for your entertainment.
That's right, here during this COVID-19, Wes Rowdy Hogue and myself, Showtime Strickland Jr. here on Vidane TV, doing our best to kind of entertain the masses. Taking a nice look here, a wide-angle shot at your leaders in this heat race. Kenneth O'Keefe out front, Patrick Woods running second, about a second and a half, maybe a second and a quarter behind him. All the way back, 5.5 seconds back is going to be your third place machine. So you can definitely tell that Kenneth O'Keefe and Patrick Woods really got a lot of practice in here earlier today and maybe throughout the week, because putting on a clinic at this point. No challenge from the third place contender, Zachary Shear, as we cross that clock at halfway through this first heat race.
Paul, check out that 215 car, the paint scheme on that, if we can get a close-up. It's like an old Woody from the, I guess, the 70s or 80s. It's black with the wood sides, the wood front, the wood rear. Really a testament to the old school body style that these legend cars are. You know, you'd see the station wagon Woodies. You would see back in the even earlier days, probably cars like this, with that style to it, just that wood grain look. Really cool that Logan Paca has this paint scheme on this ride, and I like that these guys took a lot of time. Even though these cars are pretty simple, they took a lot of time into their paint schemes. It shows that how much it means to them.
Yeah, most definitely, and there's no better style, especially on the old Legends coupes from the 30s, than having some wood paneling. And you can see we're taking a look at the back of that car. Very, very well done. Very, very good looking, sharp ride. So, like you said, a lot of time gets put into these paint schemes, and some guys, I mean, like myself, I used to run a little short bus car, and unfortunately, I don't have that paint scheme anymore for the Legends car, because, like I said, it's been 12 years. But man, it's really cool to see all the different styles that these guys have out here. Some guys look for
Also, Paul, if you jump in the cockpit of the Patrick Woods Toth ride, if you go to cockpit view and ride on board, you see these guys put time into their uniforms and their helmets. Patrick has a really cool skull-looking helmet that rides even into his visor. See him get a little loose there off the corner, but I love that aspect of iRacing. We're able to do that, as now we were under 3 minutes to go.
2.5, almost 3 minutes, roughly 3 to 4 laps here, as you see there up in the ticker on the top right, hitting the rumble strips as we're on board with Patrick Woods Toth. Really trying to chase down that leader, Kenneth O'Keefe, but I think we're out of time at this point. Not going to be too much, because Kenneth O'Keefe is up there really clicking off some hot lap times. Last time by, he ran a minute 22.447, and that's right up there with his best lap, 1:22.22.1. So these guys are running very, very quick times. Looks like just about everybody's in the minute 22, minute 23 range. So tight field for sure, but just looks like Kenneth O'Keefe, Patrick Woods, man, they've got the track position, and they've got the spots 1 and 2 right now in this first heat race.
It's going to be interesting to see if they can forward this progress into the feature. As Patrick Woods, you're seeing a little bit of how just loose these cars are a bit. Patrick Woods Toth able to hold a pretty steady line here in second place, but he's gonna need Kenneth O'Keefe to really slip up to have a chance to get a win at this one. Now we are under a minute and a half to go here at Summit Point Raceway, and the Legend cars
really burning those tires right now as we're still on board with Patrick Woods. Really trying to do everything that he can, try and figure out where Kenneth O'Keefe is weaker to try and gain a little bit of that real estate. Take another live look here from our Goodyear blimp, and you can see the distance. It's about 3.5 miles between first and second place. Even further is the third place machine, the number 22, Zachary Shearer, is almost 8 seconds back.
And those two guys are running lap times to the 1 minute 20-second range. And further back, that's 123, 124, 125. So those two are definitely going to be the class of the field. Patrick Woods taught that last lap ran a 122.9 to the 122.6 of Kenneth O'Keefe. So even this late into the run now that we're catching up to the 30 seconds remaining mark, they're laying down some really fast lap times and still being able to pull away from the field.
Absolutely. Right now, looking at the battle for 7th, 26 car, Rafael Forcier. He's under attack from Marcelo Panicia in the number 19.
All right, so I believe next time they go around, I believe since the timer will be up, they'll have 2 to go. Is that correct, Paul?
Yes, timer is getting ready to expire. 4, 3, 2, 1. That's going to call it. And that's going to put 2 laps to go right there on the board. You see the live scoring updating there in the top left hand of your screen. And this is essentially what we do on Sunday afternoons. We got a little bit of a wreck here. The 27 looks like he had a little bit of and the 16, that Hot Wheels ride that we saw, was not pleased. Saw him take a hard right-hand turn into the driver's door of the number 27. So you're going to wonder what happened there. Unfortunately, we're not able to pull up the instant replay this afternoon. But man, tough break. We just kind of caught that live as it was expiring.
I'll give the viewers a little bit of an idea of what happened there. It looked like the 16 of Curtis Fox. He came up on the back of the 27, and 27 just kind of turned left when Curtis was on the left side of him, and that rolled Curtis and that wrecked Fox as well. And then they both got going, and then the 16 waited up, looks like, for the 27 and just turned into him and wrecked himself, and the 27 kept going. So Curtis Fox got wrecked by the 27, and then he tried to retaliate and wrecked himself again.
Well, luckily for Fox, it looks like everybody is going to be making the feature event here. We're running these heat races essentially just to see where everybody lines up in that feature event. So essentially, wherever you finish in the first heat, that's going to line you up on the inside row, and wherever you finish in the second heat, that's going to line you up on the outside row.
All right, and if you want to look further back, the 26 and the 23, the 2 Wonder Bread cars are making a loaf of bread on the back stretch, or whatever part of the track you want to call this, of Zachary Veneer and Rafael Forcier. Both of those cars, and now off the pace of Rafael Forcier. I think this race has concluded, or at least some of these guys are deciding this is no longer for them, trying to exactly get an idea. Yep, it looks like this. It is over here. It is over. So your winner will be Kenneth O'Keefe.
Seeing everybody get out of the race cars, Kenneth O'Keefe just kind of taking a little bit of a warm down lap, or a cool down lap, as it were. He's come home with the win, so he's going to be starting in the front row here in the feature, as he did yesterday. Put on a clinic as he led most of the laps. And at this point, we're going to set on everything up here for heat race number 2. And we're going to get everybody lined up back there on the front stretch and do another one of those standing starts where essentially you sit there, again, white knuckles gripped up on that steering wheel, and you're going to be able to essentially just wait for that flagman to throw that green flag and hammer down.
All right, and I'm going to go through your running order best we can here. Looks like starting pole will, what this is also, I should put out there, this is the scheduled starting positions. Andrew Waring, who put on a heck of a show yesterday with Gavin Sanders. He will be starting pole in the Pabst Blue Ribbon, and we are green that quickly. So he'll be starting pole. Gavin Sanders in the 69, second in another Wonder Bread car. Samuel Lupin in the 13. Daniel Fellows in the 99, who's already making some moves up through the field. And we are off. How many Wonder Bread cars are in this field?
At least 2 at this point. I'm taking a look at the number 69 Wonder Bread cars.
17
and he bumps the 99 into that dirt. 17's around as well. Looks like he gets it righted. No big damage there. He's just going to kind of burn the tires up just a bit, get that car whipped back around, and get back on track. It's an unfortunate event right now. 17 looking like he's in the back of the pack.
Oh, and the 1 car turns the 8 car further back. Ernie Ingrata sends the 8 ride backwards, says, nope, you're out of here, of Alex Murphy. So that's going to probably be it for them. In these time races where there are no cautions, you just go. You just go. There's no way of making up that time. If you get wrecked, you get wrecked, and that's all she wrote. You're not going to have that opportunity to try to make up some time.
You're exactly right, and it's one of those things where everybody's running the same race essentially with the same time cap and all that stuff. And if you're in the back of the pack and you have some kind of wreck like that, you essentially have to hope that the entire field has
17.
some sort of issue. Taking a look here at the number 17, all the way off grid. Not entirely sure what's going on over there. Wes, did you see that happen live?
He just drove off the track and decided it was time to start mowing the lawn, and just started mowing the lawn. Did Jesse Burnett?
Hey, well, fair enough. Saw him around earlier on in the start. Tough break for the 17, running currently 13th. Focus back up here on the leader, Andrew Harding, putting on a clinic here. He's got a little bit of a handful behind him. Looks like the 69 is there, the 13 are there. Kind of battling it out a little bit for second position. Maybe trying to get a little bit of drafting in to try and see if they can't catch up to the back bumper, that number 25.
The battle for 8th with the 11 car and the 99 is heating up. That battle for 8th, as the 99's been roughing up this 11, trying to get that 8th position. Not able to figure out how to do it. It's clear that Daniel Fellows in that 99 is faster, but he just can't seem to get around the 11 and do it cleanly yet. I'm going to keep an eye on this battle here, see who gets punted, because it's probably a good chance someone might. If not, I will be surprised. So and saw the 12 take a shot. The 12 took a shot. Brody Clark took a shot at Daniel Fellows. He missed. Daniel Fellows punts the 11. We expected to see that. Locked up the tires, so he's not really trying to take these guys out, as we saw Daniel Fellows swing for the fences and miss here. I'm not exactly sure what the rules are here. I don't know if it's just, home run or not. But he tried and he missed. So the 99 now trying to get underneath the 11 of Tim Hooton, and this battle is really heating up for that 8th position.
Yeah, a lot of side-by-side action, and man, that 99 is just beating up the back bumper there of the number 11 machine. The 11 in the yellow car, red and black there is number 99, and they're side-by-side. Looks like 99 is going to get the position right now, and you got to wonder, is there going to be a receipt for that? There was a little bit of a bump, and then a bigger bump, and then it was almost a slam. So he's trying to take him to Suplex City here at Summit Point here in the Legends cars.
It's one of those things where the 11 realized, all right, I need to get out of this guy's way. And the 99 wrecks himself. Oh, instant karma for Daniel Fellows. He showed that he was faster than the 11, goes swinging it down to the corner. No, he gets nailed by the 12 car.
You saw the 12 car try and take a shot earlier on at the number 99, but to no avail, wasn't able to catch him. Looks like whatever happened earlier on in this heat race, the 12 car, Brody Clark finally got into Daniel Fellows. So we'll take a look back, focus back up here on the leader as the race is heating up. Andrew Harding has it, but Gavin Sadlers is there, right there as well. The 13, Samuel Lupien, 3-man battle for the lead.
I don't remember who won yesterday. It was one of these two drivers, but these two drivers were battling for the lead throughout the race. One of them, I think it was Gavin Sanders. He had the lead, and for most of the feature, and then Andrew Waring was able to reel him in. It might be the other way around. I don't know. Either way, these two were the class of field before, and they're showing it again in this heat race. But man, it's a tough break for the 99, but hey, the 12 finally got his slap.
Yeah, and it's an unfortunate thing, but it makes for entertaining racing. If one guy hits another guy, bumps him, kind of shoots him on into the corner, you always got to know that there's going to be some sort of receipt, whether it's a little bit of a bump, a little bit of a love tap, or if you're just going to get up there and slam into the side of them.
And you know what? That's I would like to say that's short track racing, but honestly, that's road course racing sometimes too. There's only a few passing points, passing sections on these tracks where you got to take advantage of those opportunities when they come. You don't know if that opportunity is going to come. You don't know if that driver's going to slip up again. So sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. But it seems like there's been a lot of aggression in this race. There's been some words in between Curtis Fox, who was taken out last race, and another driver as well. So temper is already flaring early in the morning here, or early in the afternoon. But as these two drivers start to battle up front, we have less than 5 minutes remaining. Here comes Samuel Lupien in the 13 catching this battle.
5 minutes down, 5 minutes to go, halfway through heat race number 2. Trying to figure out where these guys are going to start in the big show here this afternoon. 20-minute feature here at Summit Point in the Legends cars. You're seeing it live happening right now on Vidane TV. Just want to let you know, if you're watching this on our YouTube page, be sure to like and subscribe the video. Subscribe to the channel. That way you can get all the reminders for when we set up all of the different broadcast races that we're doing. And like you said earlier this afternoon, Wes, seems like we're doing this about 5 days a week. And days like today where we've got a triple header, and days like yesterday where we had a double header, as well as a heat race, or as well as a league race, rather, that you were able to see on Full Throttle TV. So definitely check us out, and be sure to search for us on social media. We're on Facebook as well, so just do a quick little search for Vidane Racing, and you'll be able to get all of the updates here for Vidane TV.
Looks like these guys up front are just going to run single file here. The 13 Olympian was able to gain a little bit of time, but not being able to gain the same amount of time as he was before. So that's allowing Gavin Sanders to focus on his windshield more than his mirror. Tried to track down Andrew Waring here. These guys are almost running the identical lap times. It's just difference of 100ths of a second, which honestly, 100th of a second really isn't much when it comes to these road courses. I mean, you could be a second back and make that up in a corner. So they're almost identical times here, getting to about 3 minutes remaining in this race.
On board right now with the number 13, Samuel Lupin, you're really able to see, even on the straightaway, he's sawing on that wheel left and right, trying to make sure that this race car is pointed in the right direction, trying to gain a little bit of ground there on that one of 12, 13 Wonderbread cars. Gavin Sander there in that second position. Heading on down in the corner, you're going to see if he's going to try and outbrake him just a little bit. See if he can get a little bit deeper in the corner to try and make up some of that valuable real estate on the Gavin Sanders machine.
We saw a lot of respect in between Waring and Sanders yesterday, and I expect to see the same here. I don't expect to see these guys rough each other up if the opportunity comes. But hey, it wouldn't be the first time I was wrong if they decided to do so. And for those that are interested in this track, this is Summit Point Raceway. It's a 1.98 miles, so just a hair shy of 2 mile track. 10 turns on this track, some long straightaways. It's kind of shaped like a shoe, almost, with a tongue at the top of it. So the track's pretty cool when it comes to its design, and because of this long straightaways, it leads to some heavy braking points heading into a couple hairpin type corners that allows these guys to enter passing zones, sometimes use the bumper if needed.
Beautiful wide angle shot here from the view from the blimp, and you're able to see all the greenery all the way around this racetrack. So definitely very, very cool as the cars, the top three here, pop into the picture. You can see that these guys are kind of putting on a clinic by themselves here. Samuel Lupin makes up a little bit of time there on Gavin Sanders, but doesn't seem like he's really able to challenge for that position just yet. But if you look behind these guys, you're not going to see much. It looks like the fourth place car is about 6 seconds back. Then it's about 20 seconds on back to the fifth position.
We saw Tyler McEwen put on a great show yesterday as well, led a lot of laps in that 151 ride. He was sponsored by Mountain Dew then and now, so I'm assuming he loves his Mountain Dew. So looks like the battle for the lead isn't, it's kind of on the back burner now as Waring is starting to pull away from Sanders. Running a great line, hitting his marks all the way around all 10 corners of this track, where the 13 Olympian is now starting to gain on Gavin Sanders a little bit. Ran a couple tenths faster that lap and possibly was just kind of abiding his time as you see him bringing into about only a couple car lengths now, almost to the bumper of Sanders, coming through these quick little S's here, and this hard right corner gets straight up to his bumper this time as we see Sanders getting sideways, wheeling it around these corners.
Really burning down the back tires on that Legend machine. Knows it's time to go, and he's got a long way to go and a short time to get there as he's going to try and get to the back bumper here, heading on down into the corner for Gavin Sanders. Really trying to take that position away from the Wonderbread machine.
Yeah, right now, I believe it's just defense mode for Sanders. He knows that he's not going to be able to get up to Waring. We got only a few seconds left in this session, so we're going to be getting to one to go here soon. So the 13 Olympian, it's all in the mirror of the Gavin Sanders machine, that Wonderbread machine. And I think, again, it's going to be one of those things where he's going to have to make a mistake, or the 13 is going to have to use the bumper as he drove it in hard there to that right-hand corner. As I was saying, he's going to have to use the bumper. He almost did there, Paul.
You're exactly right, and you're actually seeing right now 2 to go on the board. The timer has expired, so we get 2 laps left for these guys to do battle. Bringing up the old track map down there on the bottom left of your screen. The green car, the 25, that's going to be your leader. 13 shows you the purplish pink dot there, and the number 13, that's going to show you the car that we're looking at, focused in on. So another neat little tool here that we've got here with Vidane TV.
And again, if you are new to Vidane TV, we do a lot of action. We call action on Friday nights. We call actions all throughout the day, Saturday as well as Sunday. As well as soon to be Tuesday and Wednesdays. Almost 7 days a week that we're calling races here at Vidane TV, and we are glad to be here for you. You can always check out our Twitch accounts at twitch.tv/rowdy38 and then twitch.tv/strictly. That is, go ahead and spell that out for them.
It's going to be STRICKLY 94. You'll be able to check me out on Twitch. And always check us out on YouTube as well. That's where we do most of our broadcasting. And just essentially go to YouTube, type in Vidane TV, grab that little logo up there in the top left of your screen. It looks like we're going to wrap this second heat race up. Andrew Waring coming home with the victory. Gavin Sanders finishes second. Samuel Lupien, they finished third. No surprise there. So those guys are going to line up towards the front here for the feature. But yeah, check out YouTube, Vidane TV. You're going to be able to check out all of the races that we've done in the past, all the races that we've got scheduled, and everything that we're doing on that particular day. Lots of racing coming on. We've got the Hudson iRacers League coming up here at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern right after this race. At 9 o'clock tonight, we're going to be working with the East Coast Winter League. Going to be running some SK Modifieds at Stafford Speedway. And then all throughout the week, we've got a lot of Tim's Corner Motorsports sprinkled in throughout the week. I know we definitely have Tuesday night, just waiting for our secretary to essentially get in touch with Tim's secretary and ink out all the deals here. So lots of action going on here at Vidane TV. We've got one race left in our Super Speedway series. And Wes, you're actually in the points battle for that. Second place behind Jarrett Bolliard, 13 points back, and Jonathan Goke, 16 points back from the leader. So going to be able to check that out next Saturday night, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time at Full Throttle TV. But man, it looks like at this point we're just kind of shifting gears just a little bit, lining these guys up for a 20-minute feature here in the Legends Cars for the Karters iRacing League, brought to you by CanadianKartingNews.com.
All right, Paul, we're getting ready to go feature racing here. And again, the lineup here for this feature was set by those heat races that you just watched. So Kenneth O'Keefe, he started pole and won the heat one. And, he's going to be starting pole here in this 20-minute feature. Second place will be Andrew Waring. We just saw him win his heat. And then Patrick Woods Toth starting third in that 20 machine. Starting fourth, the 69 of Gavin Sanders. Starting fifth, Zachary Schreier in the 22. Starting sixth will be Samuel Lupien in the 13. Starting seventh will be the 215 of Logan Baca. Starting eighth, 151 of Tyler McEwen. Man, he's got a lot of work to do if he wants to get up front like he did yesterday. Starting ninth, Enrico Minotti. And we are green, ladies and gentlemen. We are green. The standing start has began, and our feature is rocking and rolling. 20 minutes. Summit Point Raceway here for the Hudson Motor Speedway. The Summit Point Raceway here in these legend cars.
Great shot there as everybody heads on down, the entire field heading on down into turn number one. Doesn't look like we had any kind of issues there, so that's definitely good news. Seems like everybody pretty much single file throughout the top 10 at this point. Just taking a look, there's so many Legends cars here. We've got 26 cars here that make up the field. So you got to bet for the next 20 minutes it's going to be action-packed here on Vidane TV.
Man, it's going to be a lot of action. Again, no cautions. Run what you brung. Get out front and go. If you get spun, too bad. Take it out on them the next race. And then the battle with the 69 and the 20 is heating up for that third position. Wonder Bread against Marijuana. Two things that probably go well together if you're... Anyways, the 13 is able to get underneath the 20.
Good save.
13 is able to get underneath of Samuel Lupin, able to get around Patrick Woods Toth. And battle behind them, the 215 and 22 are battling out. So great battle throughout the mid-pack of the field here.
Lots of hard racing all the way around this racetrack, and you can see, like we made mention earlier, down on the bottom left of your screen, that green dot, the number 73, that's going to be your leader, and whomever we're looking at is going to be the purple or the pink dot, depending on, I guess, whether or not you're colorblind, but that's going to show you the comparison where these two drivers are on track as we were able to kind of sift through the field here.
All right, and thank you to one of our viewers letting us know, just catching this, that it's actually pronounced Maynoti. We're getting on that. Actually, no, it's it's Menotti. That's how you say that last name. It's Menotti.
Menotti. I'm going to write that down, and I'm going to forget it in about 13 seconds. Because unfortunately, that's...
viewers for helping us completely. Oh, we got a car off the pace of Gavin Sanders. He was running second. The 69 of Gavin Sanders off the pace, Paul. I'm going to get a quick idea of what happened. Looks like he just came through the corner, hit the sand, and lost control there. But the 69 of Gavin Sanders falling out from that second position, or sorry, the third position that he was riding in. Oh man, we saw him just battle so hard yesterday. We saw him really fast in his heat race. That's probably going to be it. He's going to need a miracle to get back up through there.
Yeah, and you see the 19 was around a couple of times, and he got tagged by about 3 or 4 drivers, and the last guy that tagged him almost looked like it was intentional, taking a quick shot at that. Not entirely sure what was going on there. But you can see, again, on that race ticker down in the bottom left, or the track map, rather, 19's almost a half a lap down already, and we've only 3 minutes into this race, so tough break for him. Not entirely sure what went on there, but we'll take a quick look for the battle at the lead. Doesn't really look like it's too much of a battle. The 25 of Andrew Waring just kind of following in the tire tracks right now of Kenneth O'Keefe's, trying to see where he's strong. Can he get by left? Can he get by right? Or is he going to have to give him a little bit of a shot to trying to get him out of the way?
Well, you got a long way to go and, a long time to get there. This isn't one of those races where you only got 20 laps and got to get it done. This is 20 minutes. So it's all about taking care of your tires. 5 minutes longer than what they already ran once. But the battle for the lead is heating up as well. It's a battle for third. Samuel Lupien under fire now from Patrick Woods-Toth, and it's heating up as he's looking underneath on the right-hand side. The 13 opens up the door. Gentleman thing that's there to do. Hey, it's early. You're faster than me. You go up there and get them, brother.
A lot of the same names that were up front in the heat race. The cream always rises to the top, because here we are, feature racing time, and the same 4 drivers that were up front in the heat races are up front right now. So battle for first is about the same as the battle for second, but there's about 4.5, 5 seconds in between the 2 sets of cars. And you can see behind them the battle for fifth. Not really all that existent.
We got a wreck behind us with the 11 and Brody Clark in the 12. Hooten in the 11, Brody Clark in the 12. Man, Brody Clark just knows how to get into the incidents.
Yeah,
his name's been said a little bit.
Yeah, it's the same exact corner that a lot of these cars have been off track. It's not quite a hairpin. It's kind of a little bit of a dog leg, I guess you could call it. But we saw a few cars off track, just kind of missing the corner entirely. And a few laps ago, we saw a bunch of cars getting tagged in with the 19, trying to take them to Suplex City. But yeah, it's a tough break. You know, it's one of these things where you're turning left, you're turning right, and the car's maybe a little bit underpowered, so it's kind of hard to figure out exactly what they're going to do if you haven't gotten a lot of practice in with these particular cars.
Sometimes I feel sorry for our fans that aren't wrestling fans, and they're like, Suplex City, where's that? Nova Scotia, man? Like, they're like, where's Suplex City, bud? Like, Suplex City that Brock Lesnar is in, if you're not a wrestling fan.
Well, that's one of those things, Wes. You know, it's Canada. Canada, wrestling is a national pastime in Canada, not like here in America where you and I are from. Bret Hart, 100%, and Vince screwed Bret, and I don't care what anybody says. Bret did not screw Bret. That was 100% on Vince.
Can't forget about Lillian Garcia. Is she Canadian?
Trish Stratus. There we go.
Yes, there we go. See, I know my Canadians.
Yeah, 100%.
British Bulldog. What, didn't he live? Nope, he's from.
Nope, that was the other way.
Wow.
but I digress. About 6 minutes done here down on the ticker. We got about 14 minutes of racing left, right, and now taking a look at the field right now. We're focusing on third and fourth, and you can see behind them pretty much single file all the way around the track. So these guys kind of biding their time. They know they've got about 14 minutes left to race, and you know, it's not, you don't want to burn your tires up off these cars because you don't get any more tires. That's it. What you've got is what you've got. So you can see hitting the bouncing off the rumble strips. This is the number 20 weed car there. And really trying to hold off Samuel Lupien behind him in the 13, who's very, very strong in the heat races. Both these drivers were, as they come around. And this is that calamity corner we've been seeing all afternoon, where we've had some cars around. But these guys look like they've kind of mastered the lefts, the rights, the lefts, and were able to come around cleanly.
Absolutely, and man, oh man, it's looking to be a great battle all the way around the track. And these guys, there's different battles everywhere, so it's kind of hard to keep up with. But Kenneth O'Keefe still up front. He's running a 1:22.239 that last lap. Behind him was a same thing, but a 2:93. So a 2:39, 2:93. That's how close these guys are running. 100th of a second up front. And then you go further back, the drop off is a bit further. But again, and also, I believe these are open setups. And open setups mean you create your own setups. You don't use the in-game fix setup. You take the time to make your own setup, or you pay your good buddy that makes setups to make it for you. It shows that these guys have to put in the time to make these setups, and a lot of these guys do, and you can see they do a heck of a job.
Just saw a little bit of three-wide action here back here for the 14th position. This three-car battle was about a six-car battle, but we had a bunch of guys go off track here just about a half a lap ago. So there's side-by-side heading on down into the corner for the 14th and the 15th spot. Some good racing here on track. Wonder Bread gets a little bit sideways, loses a position there to the number 15. Number 15 there, that's Curtis Fox. We saw him running up front in one of the heat races a little bit earlier here this afternoon. So good action all the way around.
It is, and again, thank you to our viewers. We love it when you take the time in your mornings, your afternoons, your evening and nights to watch a little bit of sim racing. We understand everything that's going on in this world. We don't really get the racing that we're used to seeing and we're accustomed to. And because of that, we started up Vidane TV, a sister, a brother company basically, to Vidane Racing, our super speedway league, and we said, you know what, we miss racing, our fans miss racing, let's broadcast some racing. So to the leagues that request our services, thank you. If you run a league or you know a league that would be interesting in us broadcasting, please hit up Vidane Racing on Facebook. That's Vidane Racing, and we can get you on our schedule as soon as possible. So again, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you, everybody that supports us and staying safe through these crazy times that we're going through. And Paul, speaking of going through, I'm going through the field here, and not too much action, my man. There's a lot of single file battles, a lot of just nose to tail. We got a battle with the 17 of Jesse Burnett. He's trying to work his way up through the field. He's got the 23 of Zachary Veneer next in the 23, and then the 21 and the 16 are battling side by side for the 14th position, or 13th position rather. So. That has worked its way through. Other than that, we're pretty single file. I think the closest battle is going to be Tyler McGowan in the 6th position, battling with the 22 for top 5 currently.
Top 5 positions where it's at. You know these guys definitely want to win a race, but it doesn't look like anybody's going to be able to touch Kenneth O'Keefe or Andrew Waring. I really feel like the winner's going to come from either one of the winners of either of the two heat races. You've got Kenneth O'Keefe won the first heat race this afternoon. Andrew Waring, the 25, he won the second one. Taking a look right now, we're looking at the 6th place car of Tyler McEwen and the 151. And you can see the 20 and the 13 have kind of checked out on this pack. Got about a 4 or 5 car battle here for the 5th and 6th position. So we're getting a little bit of side-by-side action. Mountain Dew car comes low on the inside of the 22. 22 just kind of gives him a little bit of a bump in the back bumper. Says, yeah, I don't really appreciate that. And that was my spot. I'm going to try and take it back from you.
Great racing by these guys. They're putting on one heck of a show for us here at Vidane TV and all you beautiful viewers. But now is the time, Paul. That battle for the lead has heated up. Andrew Waring is there.
Going to jump on board, ride shotgun, if you will, with that number 25 machine of Andrew Waring, sawing on that steering wheel in this Legends car. He's trying to follow, bouncing off the rumble strips right there, trying to follow that 75 machine, trying to use the air, use the draft, use everything that he can, maybe try and outbrake him in one of these long, wide open corners here to see what he can do to get around him. You see Kenneth O'Keefe kicks up just a little bit of a dirt, but it doesn't seem to slow him down too much. But the 25 of Andrew Waring, he knows it's go time at this point. Just past about 11 minutes. We got 8.5, maybe 9 minutes to go here in the feature event this afternoon.
Paul, we saw this yesterday where the leader led the majority of the race. He was a second or so ahead the majority of the race, and then all of a sudden, Andrew Waring was able to just cut into that lead little by little by little by little, and to the point where he was able to take the lead, and I believe he took the win yesterday as well. So Andrew knows how to get it done, and now he's gaining more and more onto Kenneth O'Keefe, but he's doing it methodically. He's not just getting right up on his bumper. It's little by little by little.
And that's one of the biggest things in racing as we're coming up on a little bit of lap traffic here. Not necessarily traffic, but a lap car kind of moving away here. Can't really quite tell who that is, but hopefully he just moves on out of the way and doesn't affect this leader's battle here too much. But that's one of those things. You know, a lot of drivers will be able to see that they've only got a finite amount of time left, and they're really going to ramp it up for the last 2 or 3 laps as you see the leaders get by. No no problem. And some drivers use that little bit of time to really try and close up and burn up their equipment. But Andrew Waring's doing it the smart way. He sees he's got about just past halfway. He's got roughly 7.5 minutes. That's going to be 7 or 8 laps, maybe 6 laps, depending on how the race pace changes here. But he's really trying to click off all the time that he can, and he's doing it piece by piece by piece. So he's going to try and make up all this real estate here over the next 7 minutes or so, see where we land at the finish line.
We got about 7 minutes to go, as Paul said, and that's a lot of time. I'll tell you that. With him clicking off at 1 minute 22-second laps, I'm not going to even try to give you the Steiner math out of that, but you're getting about 5 laps or so out of that. So you got a lot of time around this 2-mile track to get around and try to make this move. You don't have to make it right away. Well, the leader's got the 18 spun in front of them. Man, oh man, that was a gut check moment for the leaders there. Luckily, they were able to get around that 18 with no problem, but man, that was close.
Yeah, Esposito, he's the first car a lap down. It looks like he actually just lost a second lap there. Still trying to get that car righted. He is staying out of the racing groove, letting these drivers get on by. Tough break for the 18. Not sure what sent him on around. As you see, one of the Wonder Bread cars comes up into the picture and gets around him scot-free. No kind of contact or anything like that. We're going to focus back up here on the leader, though, because that's where the race is. Seeing looks like we got a car heading on down into the bushes right there. Not entirely sure who that was. The wide angles, the wide camera angles here at the track make it a little bit difficult to see the numbers. But you can see the battle for the first position, battle for the lead, still about the same. We're about 0.3 of a second back. The 25 is from the 75. So he makes up quite a bit of ground. Big wiggle from the 75, Kenneth O'Keefe. You got to wonder if he was looking in the mirror, doing a little bit of mirror driving, because he's having to drive through the windshield to make sure he hits the track where it needs to be hit. But he's also got to make sure he's keeping an eye on that 25 machine, and he is there. This battle's about to pick up.
This is what we've been waiting for. These guys wanting to the fans want to see a battle for the lead, and the battle for the lead is what the fans are getting. They've been wanting to see some action, and it just takes time, man. When you're in a 20-minute race, you have to take your time. And now the 25 at Andrew Waring is all over the bumper of Kenneth O'Keefe, all over the 73. This is what we want to see, and now it's going to be, will the 73 make the mistake? Will the 25 give him the bumper? Or did the 25 burn up his stuff? If he did, trying to get to him, you might start seeing the 73 of O'Keefe pull away as they pass by the Brody Clark 12 car, the lap car.
Riding on board with Andrew Waring right now, just beating the ever-loving snot out of that steering wheel. Left, right, he bounces off the rumble strips right now. He is there. He can smell the back bumper of Kenneth O'Keefe, and he's just waiting. He's waiting for Kenneth to make a mistake so he can pounce on him, try and get around him here to see if he can't come home with the victory. Got about 4.5 minutes left to go. That's going to end up being about 4 laps at this track. So you got to wonder what's going to go on with these guys. Gives him a little bit of a shot, and he sticks it, and he hits him again, and he hits him again. And 73, Kenneth O'Keefe, man, does a great job holding that steering wheel tight. You got to figure he's definitely white-knuckle racing right now.
Man, oh man, oh man. This is what gets frustrating as a driver if you're Kenneth O'Keefe. You have a windshield and you have a mirror. You have 10 corners around this 2-mile track. You need to look at what's in front of you so you can hit your marks, but now your eyes are so focused and dedicated to that mirror, you start missing your marks, and that's when you start making mistakes and you open up the door for the 25. Good drivers, excellent drivers know how to balance those two things out, and we're seeing Kenneth do that currently. He's balancing that out. Even this gentleman had no practice time from what I've gathered before this event. He had very minimal practice time, and he's out here leading, but Andrew Waring is breathing down his neck heading down this straightaway.
All over the back bumper, Andrew Waring trying to get that lead from Kenneth O'Keefe. These guys have been together all afternoon long, all race long, and you're looking at the 2 heat race winners as well. Kenneth O'Keefe coming home with the first heat, and Andrew Waring finishes first in the second heat. Side-by-side lead battle for the lead right now. Andrew Waring seems to have the advantage, but that's going to switch right over to Kenneth O'Keefe as he's going to take this corner on the inside.
Man, Waring given the not so favorable line on the outside there around that right-hand corner. He has to get back in line behind Kenneth O'Keefe, figure out, all right, where am I going to make my next move? He went for a kind of a very low percentage passing area, trying it on the left side there. He thought he'd give it a shot, but he has enough time to do that. Now's the time to test. And all right, is this going to work? Is that going to work? You're there now. If you feel confident enough that you got the tires to do it, you got the speed to do it as he gives the bump to O'Keefe. Nothing to really get him out of shape, but to just let him know he's there. Now is the time to try those moves so you can really set him up.
Exactly right. A little bit of a bobble for the 25, but he's still right all over the back bumper. And man, oh man, he is glued to that bumper. You couldn't even put a piece of paper in between these two cars right now. And O'Keefe knows it. He's trying to look out the windshield. He's got some lap cars up in front of him. Hopefully they don't play a factor here as we're coming down to the 2-minute warning. And man, oh man, Andrew Waring is there. You can see he's trying to back up some of these corners to see if he can't make a little bit of ground. You see he's trying to cut the corners a little bit. Not necessarily cut the corners, but kind of flatten them out just a bit to try and gain some momentum. But doesn't seem like it's working so far. And you've seen that Andrew Waring's really been, he's been able to get up and kind of tap the back bumper, letting Kenneth know he's there. But we haven't seen him use that chrome horn yet to move him out of the way. So is that going to happen tonight? Well, we'll let you know in about a minute and a half. Oh, big wiggle for the 25. Loses a lot of momentum there. Riding on board, you saw him sawing on that wheel. He's back. He's probably back 3-4 car lengths, but at least at this point, it gives him an opportunity to take a look and see what these two lap cars are going to do. If Kenneth gets boggled up here with these two lap cars, trying to get around them cleanly or as cleanly as he can, that might give the position over to Andrew Waring.
Paul, the third place driver, is nowhere near them, giving these guys a lot of room here as the 73 of O'Keefe works around the 27. He's got the 6 next. Both those drivers give way to the leaders. Great sportsmanship shown there. And now the 27 wrecks the 9. The 9. He wrecks them, and glad to do that behind the leaders instead of front of them, and I'm sure they're pretty happy about that as well. Now the 25, you could see him wheeling that car. We got less than a minute to go. There's no more saving, ladies and gentlemen. There's no more protecting those tires. It's time to go, and it's time to go now. Once that clock hits 0, they're given that 2 to go mark at that point, and then next time they hit the line, it's it. Oh, and O'Keefe gets into the sand. That wasn't planned. That's going to scrub off some speed for O'Keefe. That's going to open up the door here, and they're running almost exact speed still, heading down this big straightaway, heading down into this hard braking right-hand corner. Sliding all over the track. Both these drivers are just a little bit of lap traffic in the 11 of Tim Hooten in front of them. I'm sure Tim will give way to these leaders here as we are under 10 seconds.
Winding down the laps, winding down the timer here at Summit Point Raceway here with the Legends cars. The Canadian Karting Series here, sponsored by CanadianKartingNews.com. Definitely be sure to check them out. 2 to go on the board, and the way the scoring has worked, that actually translates into about 1 to go. So we're going to be taking a look here. The next time they cross the stripe should be the end of the race, if I'm looking at the scoring correctly.
You're right. Next time they cross the stripe, so this is the last lap, ladies and gentlemen. This is the last lap. Andrew Waring, if he's going to make the move, he needs to make the move now. He's all over the bumper of Kenneth O'Keefe. This is your only battle on the track, and it is the battle for the win. Going through the S's, the 25 looks a little bit more loose than Kenneth O'Keefe than the 73. Maybe he bore out those tires just a little bit more, or it just might be the setup heading down in another hard right-hander here. They both slide on through. This is it, Paul. This is it.
Identical racing lines for these drivers coming across the stripe. The winner is going to end up being, looks like Kenneth O'Keefe as he crosses the line. Andrew Harding is going to finish second in that 25 machine, followed by Patrick Woods, about 8, almost 9 seconds back in the third position.
Man, what a way to start off, ladies and gentlemen. And don't go anywhere. Here in just a few minutes, we're going to have a new link for you. We are going to be going racing at Lanier with the Hudson Motor Speedway, guys.
A little bit of a bump, congratulatory bump there from the PBR, the Pabst Blue Ribbon machine of the number 25, letting Kenneth know, hey, that was a good race, good clean race, and congratulations there. But congratulations to Kenneth O'Keefe. He's able to come home with the victory. Andrew Waring finishes second, Patrick Woods third, Samuel Lupien fourth. Fifth place is going to go to Tyler McEwen. Sixth, Raphael Forcier. Gavin Sanders, seventh. Daryl Timmers. Eighth place, Zachary Shearer, ninth. Enrico Minotti, learned that a couple minutes ago, thanks to one of our fans and our viewers. He's going to round out the top 10. Curtis Fox, 11th. Alex Murphy, 12th. Zachary Veneer, 13th. Ernie Ingrata, he's going to finish 14th. Corey McLeod, 15th. Jesse Burnett, 16th. The 21 car, 17th. Sorry, bud. I'm not even going to attempt that name. Colin Baxter, 18th. Marcelo Panicia, 19th. 27th car finishes 20th. Logan Paxa, Angelo Esposito, Anthony Simone, Tim Hooten, Brody Clark in that 12, Marco Felice, and Sean McPhee. Going to wrap out the top 27. But like you said, Wes, race one's in the book. We're going to dust off the equipment real quick. We're going to shoot on back over to the YouTube studio, switch links real quick. So if you're joining us here for the first race, head on over to our YouTube page. We're going to go live here with the second race of the evening as we're going to check out the Hudson iRacers League. They're going to be taking on the Lanier Speedway. So don't go anywhere. Well, maybe go grab a drink real quick because there's a couple buttons we got to push. But we're going to be coming right back here in just a moment's time. Don't go anywhere.